What's up, guys? Can you guys hear me good? Anybody hear me? You guys hear me? Anybody hear me? You guys hear me? All right. All right, guys. Ready up. Everybody ready up. All right, guys. Ready up. Everybody ready up. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to drivers and fans alike. Bienvenidos and welcome. I'm Fluffanada, or Jay, and you're watching ISRL's 2020 preseason race here in the heart of Barcelona, the beautiful Circuit de Catalunya. Today's race consists of 16 turns, 2 DRS zones with detection zones before corners 9 and 16, with the second DRS zone being on the longest straight of the F1 calendar with 2.8 miles of drag strip. All of that leads up to turn 1, making it the most overtake-worthy corner of the circuit where 3 braking zones will make or break you. Today's race is going to come down to tire strategy, which consists of 3 compounds, C1, C2, and C3. Right, here we go. We have a couple guys going on their outlaps now. All right, and let's get to it, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulties we're having, but we have Synchro is on his hot lap now. Now let's get some specs going here. So far, Synchro is looking in sync with the track. No pun intended. Had to get my dad joke in there. But guys, he's on a pretty clean lap right now, except for that lockup going into those. Oh, he might have just lost about 0.3 of a second there. But let's see what he can pull out anyways, and let's let that lap be the marker. And there he goes, Lorenzo Scarfo with a 1:22.108. Oh, and Synchro loses it on the final turn, goes into the gravel pit. Looks like he's going to have a bit of a setup issue going on there now. Hopefully it's not a setup and it's just cold tires. Sometimes it happens to me too, I can't lie. But yeah, as you see now, we got Lorenzo Scarfo going to try and chase that fastest lap, while Synchro does set a fast lap of 1:21.453. If you notice, everyone except for Tommy is on the soft tires right now. Tommy is choosing to go on the hardest tire, and which is also the slowest. It's about almost a second and some change off of the soft tire, which everyone else is running, but it will last longer. And in the 50% race, that's the most important thing, is distance and consistency. So as of right now, it looks like Synchro's lap is standing strong. Hopefully we'll get to see the drivers warm up their tires, maybe charge up again, and send it right back out before those soft tires start showing any wear. Oh, it looks like Difference has a problem of some sort. He was sitting there, unless he's probably giving a gap to the guy in front so that he can set a decent lap without getting interfered with. So there he comes around the corner. Beautiful exit out that corner as well. And we'll see what his time is going to be. Oh, and it looks like Lorenzo might have lost it there. No, that's not Lorenzo. That's Difference. Difference lost it there. He damaged his wing. He has about less than half a wing left, if it looks correct on my screen. Oh, that's not good. It's not good, but it's gonna happen. Spain has a tendency of biting you on the corners that you least expect it. Ooh, Alex Judge just sets the fastest lap at 121.364. 3 laps on the soft tires. That's about the amount of laps you need. Maybe 2 to 3 laps to get the tires warmed up properly. They say 5, but if you push it hard enough, I'm pretty sure you can get them warmed up. Now you see here, synchro, for a lot of drivers, turns 13, 14, and 15 tend to be the hardest of the turns to catch, because if you miss the apex or if you hit the curb, which is a huge sausage, it will destroy you. And if you lose your aerodynamics coming around those turns, most likely turn 16, you're going to swing out wide. So it's really crucial for drivers to hit that spot perfectly on the apex. Oof, looks like he lost the back there a little bit. Might be an issue for him. He might have lost a little bit of time. Hopefully he didn't cook those tires up, because this next turn here, you touch that sand. Oh, and there he goes. That sand right there is dangerous. Oh, we have a yellow flag. Oh, that's Lorenzo's Scarfo there. He was moving over so that Synchro could get by on his lap. That's driver respect right there. I tell guys all the time, the most respectful thing you could do, plus he's low in fuel as well. But the most respectful thing you do is you stay out of the way of those on your hot laps. Just like you wouldn't want somebody to compromise you, don't compromise anybody. And right there, everybody can do their best time, their best laps, and we'll see who is and who isn't. There we go, Fallen Monkey sets a 121.214 on the soft tire with fresh sauce at that. So that means that Fallen Monkeys has somewhat figured out the max potential that he can push with those tires on the first lap, them being slightly colder. And if he warms them up well, I'm pretty sure he can push for a faster time. I'm looking to see like a 120, 128 maybe, 129, and I say 128 tenths. So we'll see what these guys can push. I see a couple of guys also have switched to the medium tires. Maybe they think that they can run a bit faster with the mediums. So we'll just wait and see. But you run faster with the mediums, and kudos to you, because not many people can do that. And there we have it, a 120.1. A 120.1, that's a beautiful lap. Way lower than what I was expecting, which is pretty good, which means that somebody might actually hit the 119s, maybe high 118s. We'll just wait and see. But he moves out of the way now for somebody who's approaching behind him. Doesn't want to impede their lap. And that's... Oh, and that Synchro locking up there. Seems like he might have got the slipstream off of the deck. And that slipstream, if you get too close, you will lose your aerodynamics and you won't have any braking. So we'll see what happens now. Let's go follow him. Ooh, back end got loose for him a little bit there. And there goes Synchro's lap. More than likely, his tires might still be a little bit cold because they're only 2 laps in. So I'm pretty sure if he pushes them a couple more laps and he stops locking up to where he won't cook his tires, then maybe he might actually get a better lap out of them. Well, he dives into the pits. He's probably going back to the softs now. So here we have 2 Ferrari engine powered vehicles, the Ferrari of Vito and the Alfa Romeo of Difference, both running in the 1/1970s. They're 300ths of a second off of each other. That is barely a hair's length. That's insane. Those 2 guys are probably going to be a problem in the race. They're going to be battling hard, but now that we have about 3 minutes left in this qualifying session, more than likely, the guys are going to start falling away and pitting, getting some fresh salts, and coming back out to see if everyone can battle one last time for the fastest lap. So here we have the deck starting his hot lap. He's coming around the last turn now, turn 16, to that famous long stretch with the wonderfully fast DRS zone. And let's watch now as the gap from him to Vito is about 0.4 of a second. So it's less than half a second. The top 3 guys are separated at the moment. As of right now, difference's fastest lap stands. There's 30 seconds left. Let's see who is. Okay, Vito just passed the start-finish line to start his hot lap now. Now, with 30 seconds left, anybody who is behind the finish line automatically ends their qualifying session. The ones who are ahead of the qualifying or ahead of the finish line are usually the ones who are on a hot lap, and that's the guy that's trying to push the last couple, maybe thousands, hundreds, or thousands of seconds out of a lap. So let's see now. We got Vito, Difference, The Deck, Tommy N25, and Fallen Monkeys and Synchro all on hot laps now. Oh, looks like The Deck might have kicked up a little bit of dirt on that run there. Looks like he slowed down a bit. Might have to wait and see. Oh, we have a yellow flag. It seems like the driver for the Alfa Romeo Difference might have had some issues, or he's in low fuel mode. No, it doesn't look like he's in low fuel mode from what I see, but maybe I'm missing something. And Vito takes pole position at the moment at a 119.082. Now we have to wait and see if anybody else can possibly match and beat that time. But as of right now, Vito B2626 will be starting in the pole position. Difference in second, and The Deck 91 in third. Tommy N25 in fourth, Synchro in fifth, Alex Gel 24 in sixth, Catastrophic 971 in seventh, Fallen Monkeys in 8th, and Lorenzo Scarfo rounding off the grid in 9th place. Oh, it seems like The Deck is actually in the pits. This is a little issue that Codemasters has also had, where they won't take care of it right away. And it's if you're in the pits and the lap finishes, you have to wait the full amount of time sometimes until people either retire or the timer runs out. That's annoying. But once again, congratulations, Vito. Congratulations on bringing the Ferrari to pole position here in the Spanish Grand Prix. Now, as we sit by and wait for all the drivers to move forward with their sessions, ladies and gentlemen, I want to direct you to our social media accounts. Our Instagram, our Facebook. Make sure you like and subscribe our video. If you enjoyed the commentary, please let me know. If there's anything that I can fix, I will take all comments and I will not be hurt. Trust me, constructive criticism is what builds the world. So anybody has any comments, any suggestions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section, as I'm reading them now, and I appreciate the love I'm getting so far, guys. Now, as the drivers get ready to come to the grid and start their formation lap and get those tires warmed up, here's our Instagram account. It's at ISRL Esports. ESPORTS. That's ISRL Esports. That's our Instagram account. Please feel free to follow us from here on out. We have Fly By Night. He is the owner. He makes amazing graphics, and we will have graphics for every event and for many more things to come. But as of right now, just follow us and give us a shout. All right, and here goes the formation lap. This is the least exciting lap from the entire race. And I say that because, yes, the championship lap at the end of the race is always going to be more interesting, because that's just flexing. Like, yeah, I'm ahead of you. But here, it's like, come on. Let's get these tires warmed up. Everybody's getting pumped up to get the brakes and tires to temperature. Make sure that if they don't feel anything funny on the formation lap, shift through their gears, make sure their transmissions are working properly. Engineers are stuck on the computers like white on rice right now, because they're looking at the sensors to make sure that nothing is showing up faulty. because if anything shows up faulty, more than likely they will either retire the car or send it out and risk major catastrophic failure. Now, once again, for those of you who are just joining us, welcome to ISRL's 2020 preseason race here in Barcelona, Circuit de Catalunya. I'm fluffing out a Y-Tube, or Jay, and I am here to present to you a beautifully set lap, beautifully set race, and just the commentary that you will never forget. But once again, like I said, this is my first time doing this. It seems pretty fun to me. I actually enjoy it a lot. So without further ado, let's get this grid lined up so that we can get this race started. All right, here we go, here we go. And we are underway. Oof. Vito and Difference getting a great start. The Deck 91 side by side with Difference into turn one, and we're going to see who's going to give into the brakes first. Oh, it looks like the deck is going on the outside. Oh, there's a yellow flag. It looks like the deck went a little bit too wide, so he falls in right behind Difference into third place. Vito getting himself a decent gap already due to the quarrel that Difference in the deck had, which probably held them up a little bit. One thing I always like to tell people is the race is never run. It's never won on the first turn. Let's check out the action in the backfield as well and see. Right now, we have a train forming. Usually for the first, second, maybe third lap, the train is very tight. Maybe a second or more between the entire grid. But after about 2 to 3 laps, the drivers will start showing wear and tear on their tires. You'll see who has the right setup and who doesn't. And that's when the gaps will start to form. As of right now, ooh, it looks like we have some action going on there. And it looks like Fallen Monkeys is out. Fallen Monkeys is out on lap 1. What happened there? I must have missed it. If any of you guys caught that, please feel free to let me know. But Fallen Monkeys is out. And Alex Ja is missing an end plate. There must have been some contact between both of them. I hope not. Oh man, Fallen Monkeys, Alex Ja. Looks like there was some contact for Alex Ja's missing an end plate at the moment. But right now, we shall see. And if anything does happen, then it'll be reported to the stewards and they'll handle it. From what I'm being told, Alex just spun. Must have had contact with Fallen Monkeys. I can't really tell you. I wish I did catch it, but I can't. But let's go back up to the front. Vito V2626 is still ahead. He's got about a 1 second gap, about 1.3 second gap at the moment. All right, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. I should have had the telemetry activated for you guys. But right now we have a 1.5 second gap between first and second place, and from there we have about a half a second gap between the deck and Difference. Now that we are on lap 2, and it's still kind of a tight train, but it's starting to gap out a little bit. So we'll see now. The top 4 are still well within the range of each other when the DRS actually is activated. which is usually activated in lap 3, if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, don't yell at me. But if you're within 1 second of the car in front of you, then you get the DRS, and that is amazing. Ooh, as the difference spins and he hits the wall. He hits the wall. Oh, jeez. Let's see what's going to happen here. Let's see. Hopefully he doesn't get disqualified for coming onto the track. He doesn't. Good job coming back onto the track. Let's see what's going on now. The difference looks like he just lost traction on that turn. It's notorious for that. It's gonna happen. It happens all the time. It even happens to me all the time. But it's not fun when it does happen. We'll see how bad the damage is on the difference's car at the moment. It looks like it's pretty bad. He's getting some major understeer. No aero at all in the front of that vehicle at the moment. Alex Judd is catching up to him, but he also has damage. So we'll see now. It's going to be the battle of the pits. Red Bull is notorious for being the fastest in the pit lane, but and Alex Judd decides to stay out, missing an end plate. He must feel pretty comfortable about his aerodynamics. And difference gets a 5-second penalty speeding in the pit lane. That's not good. Those type of penalties right there can make or break your entire race. Seeing as he already has damage though, he's going to have to catch up. Usually a pit stop will take about 16 to 20 second gap. It'll give you about a 16 to 20 second gap, but considering that he has to have a wing change, that's probably going to add a handful of seconds there, let's just say. All right, we're going back up to the front. Let's see what the gap is from the leader. Ooh, and Vito built quite the gap so far with a 3.8 second gap. Tommy N25 is another 7 seconds behind the leader at the moment, about 8 seconds. Yeah, he's 4.6 behind the deck. As you see now, the gaps are starting to form really bad, and I mean, I don't know if somebody is slowing somebody else down or what's going on. But as of right now, the closest drivers are the deck and Tommy N25. Tommy, being on the medium tire, is doing quite well to keep up with those on the soft tires. That's a skill. You have to have either the right skill and setup, or you have to know what to do to your tires to get them to be able to run that fast, because they're not as grippy as the tires that the deck has out right now. They're both the same amount of laps hold. Ooh! And the deck goes into the grass. He almost loses it. He had to let off. He impeded Tommy, but Tommy goes for the dive bomb, and he gets it. Tommy is ahead. Oh, man. I like to watch this guy. I look forward to seeing him for the rest of this season. Now as Tommy rounds turn 16. Let's see now what the gap is going to be like. After a couple of laps, we'll check back up on the battle and see if Tommy has been able to break any ground on Vito. But the deck is making a move on the inside, and he has to give the turn back to Tommy N25. Not to compromise both of their cars and not to get any damage or penalties for the contact that could have been made. But it looks like the deck and Tommy N25 are going to be fighting, because these guys are not giving up on each other. And like I said, the deck, if he can get the rhythm on his tires will be faster than Tommy N25's, but he needs to get that move done ASAP, because usually the soft tires will last about 10 laps, and that's pushing it to the maximum extent. Unfortunately, I don't have the Formula 1 budget, so I can't afford to give you those tire graphics, but let's just wait and see who starts showing wear and tear and whose tires start falling off a cliff. Oh, and it looks like Vito goes off the track. Vito went off the track. Oh, no, that's not good. That's not good at all. The gap now from him and Tommy is 0.6 seconds. He lost almost about 4 seconds from that little incident he had. And he goes into the pits. He must have damage. Yes, he does. He's missing a left end plate. And Tommy, on the medium tires, is given the upper hand completely right now, considering the fact that Tommy has the tires that will last a couple laps longer, but also Tommy is going to be able to push hard while the deck's tires are reaching the cliff that they're about to fall off on. Now, folks, do keep in mind that this is a preseason race. This wasn't part of the schedule until not too long ago. So, with it being a preseason race, attendance isn't really that important. It's more like we would just want to see what these guys will do under a proper race setting, while these guys also get to know the cars that they're driving. And just like the real Formula One, they do testing in Spain. Unfortunately, we can't do those type of cool things, but at least we can have a nice race. Preseason doesn't count against anybody's record, but we will see who's who. And now you can see that we come back to the two boys here having a duke in the yard. The gap between the deck and Tommy in 25 is about 1.5 seconds. Oh, and the deck dives into the pits to see if he can get these tires off and get those medium compound tires on, because he knows that Tommy is going to build a couple of laps on him before he can get those tires up to temperature. And by the time he does, Tommy is going to be looking to switch those tires as well. Now, the interesting thing will be is what Tommy is going to come out the pits with when he does decide to pit. He can go for the hard tires and finish the race, but the deck will have the advantage on the medium tire, and it'll be a tight finish unless the deck doesn't properly manage his tires, and then they're going to fall off as well, because the mediums are only a couple laps more than the softs. I want to say about maybe 4 or 5. In my opinion, from what I've experienced, the medium tires for me last about 5 laps, 6 laps more. But I drive like a bat out of hell, so we'll see what happens during the race. But right now, the strategy is what's going to be the decision between Tommy and the deck. Unless the deck had damage, which I don't think he did. And it's a 21-second gap between him and the deck right now, between Tommy and 25 and the deck. So obviously that means that the pit stop went well and he got out of there in time. Now, with that being said, the gap between Vito and the deck is about 3.9. Yeah, 3.9. And Vito being the one who had to go into the pits to get some damage repaired and change tires as well. That's a pretty good pit stop, and he must have had an amazing outlap in order for him to break down that gap from where he had it to where it's at. Ooh, and the catastrophic is coming up on Lorenzo Scarfo. The gap between them is average 0.6 seconds at the moment. Catastrophic being on fresher mediums by only 1 lap, which could either be a large or a small margin, depending on how both of these drivers manage to take care of those tires. So right now, it looks like the catastrophic and Lorenzo Scarfo are about a second's average gap through certain sectors. But on the straight, I'm pretty sure it's going to be less than that. Now, here's the thing. If Catastrophic can maintain that less than a second gap, he will be able to have DRS down that 2.8 mile straight. And with that and his... Oh, and look at that. Speaking of him, and look what happens. Catastrophic seems like he's losing it a little bit. I don't know if maybe he's out of sync, or maybe he's gotten out of his groove from battling Lorenzo Scarfo. But hopefully he can fix it. Oh, he's losing the rear end on it too. We'll come back to these guys in a second. I want to see what's going on up front. The deck has managed to drop about 2 seconds of a gap on Tommy in 25, but Tommy in 25 should be pitting soon. Now, with that being said, Lorenzo Scarfo being on the oldest of mediums out of the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th place, or sorry, 4th, 5th, and 6th place at the moment, he is going to be at more risk of getting overtaken by Catastrophic or Synchro because they're not too far behind. But like I said, it's going down to tire management. Oh, and it looks like we have a yellow flag, and I don't know what happened. I don't see anything. Hopefully it was nothing major, but these guys' tire gap and age is going to be a big factor on who can manage their tires, because tires will start falling off, and one of these guys is either going to make a mistake or they're going to end up overtaking somebody. Ooh, and look at Synchro and difference. 3/10 of a second at most of a gap. It looks like difference might have gotten his groove back, and he's starting to come back, and he's on Synchro now. We'll see what Synchro does to defend, and we'll watch to see what's going on between these two guys. And there we go. Difference has opened his DRS, or his DRS. And look at that gain. Oh, now it goes down to the braking, and let's see what happens. Synchro being right behind. Oh, and Synchro looks like he might have overshot the apex there. Considering difference is on 7-lap-old tires to Synchro's 4 laps, it should be the other way around right now, but Synchro's probably having problems warming up his tires. He's also braking as if he has some damage, so we have to see. Yes, he's missing an end plate. I see it from here. He is missing an end plate, so that might be his troubles with the tires at the moment. Unfortunately, an end plate is very important, especially in a track like this that has long turns and has high speed and slow turns. You need an end plate. And it looks like the deck has managed to drop the gap down to about 16.3 seconds from Tommy. Now, here's the thing. Tommy needs to get into the pits ASAP, because if he doesn't, the deck might actually be coming out, or he might actually be coming out behind the deck, because 16.3 seconds is not enough time to be able to pit comfortably and exit the pits. You're gonna end up exiting in a drag race. So we'll see now what happens. Hopefully Tommy does take word of the wise and jump into the pits now, just to see if he can get those soft tires going. Maybe he's going, I'd say medium, soft, or he could try to make it a one-stop with a medium hard. Yeah, look at Tommy N25. Sounds like he's losing some type of grip there for the scenes. Oh, Tommy might have just given the lead to the deck. He's out less than 16 seconds away from Tommy at the moment. And the pit stop is going to be about 20 seconds average time. Oh, and we have a yellow flag. Oh, and it looks like Alex just has spun. Alex just spun again. If I'm not mistaken, this is the second time of him spinning. He did spin on the first lap, and he just spun again. I don't know, maybe he's having traction issues, or maybe he's having a setup issue. Oh, it looks like Vito's having some understeer issues there. Maybe his tires falling off a lot sooner, or he's still off. Does he still have that damage? No, he doesn't have that damage. He did correct his wing. So I wonder what's going on here. Maybe he's having some trouble warming up those medium tires, because they can be a headache if you don't warm them up properly. And Synchro came out of the pits, fresh, hard tires. So he's probably going for the one-stopper at the moment. Oh, Synchro's already had 2 stops, actually. But Alex has had 1 stop. Everybody's on 1 stop except for Tommy N25 at the moment. Tommy N25 is trying to get the maximum extent that the medium tires can give. But is that a mistake? Because in the last couple of laps, the deck has been able to drop a 21-second gap down to 14 seconds. So that's average about 1.5, maybe 2 seconds a lap at the moment. If he keeps this up, Tommy N's tires are going to continue falling off. His lap time is going to continue to deteriorate. And the Deck 91 is going to overtake him. Just hands down, he's already going to overtake him once Tommy does exit the pits. He will actually be a decent sized gap behind the deck after he comes out of the pits. Oof, and the difference is right on Lorenzo Scarfo once again after he caught his groove back. And let's see what's going to happen here. It's about 3/10 away, and they're coming up to the long DRS zone, and we have another yellow flag. Let's see who was that. Oh, Tommy N25 goes into the pits. Oh, Catastrophic looks like he's having some issues. I couldn't really tell. But as of right now, that yellow flag was just a fluke because they pull out yellow flags like the boy who cried wolf. Oh, no, but we have Vito spinning. Vito spins, and he drops down to 3rd place. He drops down to 3rd place. Now, Catastrophic is going to have to push as fast as he can while Vito, and he might switch his tires to the hards or the softs depending on what he wants to do. Most likely he will do hards if he does get his wheel changed. But if he doesn't get that wheel change, Catastrophic is going to catch up to him. Ooh, and now Catastrophic battling with Difference. We have a battle for 4th place at the moment. Lorenzo Scarfo 0.6 of a second behind Difference. Difference 0.7 behind Catastrophic. Catastrophic working his way up to Vito at the moment with an 8-second gap, and he's going to try and see. Oh, and he just gets a 3-second time penalty. Vito, get that wing change, pal. If he does not get that wing change, he's going to continue to make mistakes, and those penalties are going to rack up, and he's going to finish 3rd, but he's going to be last place after the penalties are given. Oh, and it looks like Catastrophic was defending. I think that might have been a little bit dangerous, but it was risky. But it was, I'm pretty sure it was allowed. Now the Difference takes 3rd place. What a beautiful pass. Catastrophic and Lorenzo now. Oh, Lorenzo had to brake. He might have gotten compromised by Catastrophic's line. And it looks like, oh, Difference and Catastrophic are going side by side up the hill right now. We're going to see what's going to happen into this turn. And it looks like Catastrophic is giving in. Oh, and we have a yellow flag. Oh, the deck is in the wall. The deck is in the wall, and he's turning around. He's got damage as well. It looks like the deck is going to have to pit after all that hard work of closing that gap between him and Tommy N25. He has given it all away. Now he's going to have to pit for a wing, tire change, and he's going to have to push as much as he can to close down a potential 20 to 30-second gap once he exits the pit lane. Oh, and there comes the Difference behind him. Oh, the deck. Oh, that was not cool. That was, whether he did that intentionally or not. Come on, you got damage. If you can't drive with your damage, move over. You don't want to compromise your race and somebody else's over just a little bit of damage that you can't drive with. And it looks like the deck does dive into the pits. Glitch there, hitting the wall. We got Vito in 6th place with a 25-second gap from the deck. the deck, so it seems like he might actually be coming out ahead of the deck. Sorry, he might actually be ahead of the deck when he comes out of the pit lane. And once again, guys, excuse me for fumbling on my words. This is my first time doing this, so I am trying to learn as I go. But here we go. Vito, B2626 will be passing the deck. And he does. The deck is still in the pit lane, and he's still under the pit limiter. Unfortunately, Vito has taken 5th place from the deck. And what a good chunk of points he's got there. Ooh, Catastrophic dips a tire into the gravel pit. If you dip it way too much in there, it'll bite you. And it'll pull you. And next thing you know, you're going to be spinning right into the wall. But let's see now as he's closing up the gap on Lorenzo Scarfo. I wonder if Lorenzo either has damage or... No, he does not have any damage. But his tires are 11 laps old. And Catastrophics are 10. So either... one person or the other has mismanaged their tires, or somebody set up his wrong. But Lorenzo Scarfo dives into the pit lane, giving Catastrophic 3rd place at the moment. And then we have the interval from the rest of the field to the leader. Difference 10 seconds away from Tommy N25. Catastrophic 15.5, Lorenzo Scarfo 23.1. Vito 34, the deck 41, Synchro 49, and Alex Ja 55 seconds away from the leader at the moment. Ooh, and it looks like a move was made down the straight by Vito, and he gets ahead of Lorenzo Scarfo while the two Ferrari-powered cars go at it. Ooh, let's see how Vito takes this turn, and he does a great job, actually. He hugs the turn, doesn't slow down too much because Lorenzo Scarfo still doesn't manage to catch up to him. But let's see now as the guys go into 11, 12, and 13, which are the make it or break it for the final sector of this lap, because if you cannot get this sector right, you will lose time. And it looks like Vito might have lost a little bit of time to Lorenzo Scarfo on that turn, as they're both going into turns 14 and 15 with a bare minimum margin at the moment. Looks like Vito does get the better exit though, but Lorenzo Scarfo will have the DRS on him, so he will be able to either close up that gap or pass him depending on who will break first into that turn 1. Ooh, and it looks like Vito takes the better line. And, oh, the deck has left the session. I wonder if that's a connection issue. Hopefully that's a connection issue, because rage quitting is something that we do not tolerate. It is frowned upon in the community in general. So hopefully he lost his connection, man, because he's a good driver. He wouldn't need to come back, but he still have a handful of laps. Now, as you can see here, Vito being on the hards 3 laps old, and Lorenzo Scarfo being on the mediums that are 1 lap old. The margin is going to be small for them at the moment, but once Vito's tires warm up to the track, he'll be able to pull away, because more than likely by the time he does that, Lorenzo Scarfo's tires will start showing a little bit of degradation. But we're going to see now what these two guys can pull out as they round turn 16 to that 2.8 long stretch. And let's see if Scarfo got the DRS, and he did not. Unfortunately, he did not get the DRS, so he's going to have to run maximum battery and maximum fuel down this straight just to be able to break at least a little bit of a margin off of that decent gap that Vito has built on him. And we have another yellow flag. Oh, Alex Ja, is it him or... Oh, Vito B2626 missed his braking zone, and he's into the wall again. Oh man, guys, these are mistakes that should not be getting made. These are mistakes that will cost you the entire race. Oh, and it looks like Synchro has gone through the AI driver of the Deck 91 right now. And Alex Judd might actually be able to catch up to the Deck 91 considering it's an AI driver. They're extremely cautious. They slow down too early and they are ghosted as well. So you'll be able to just pass them instead of being compromised by them. Oh, Catastrophic gets a 3-second time penalty. Oh, and he's off the track. Catastrophic's off the track. I wonder if there was contact there. I wonder if there was contact or if he missed it. No, there wasn't contact. The gap is too big. Sorry about that rookie mistake there. But no, there was no contact. He must have been by himself, and he must have missed that apex. And here we have the grid at the moment. Tommy N25 moving up 3 places from 4th. Lorenzo Scarfo, 9th place. He came up to 2nd place. Good job. Difference has dropped down 1 position. Catastrophic has moved up 3 positions from 7th. Vito dropped down 4. Synchro drops 1. The Deck 91, 4. Alex Judd, 2. Man, what a gap Tommy has on everyone. If Tommy can keep his consistency, he will finish this race ahead. And we have another yellow flag, What's going on here? Oh, and it looks like Catastrophic is, maybe he might be lost a little bit around the corner and decided he was just going to go have a picnic in the grass there for a second. It looks like Vito is still pushing hard. Essere Ferrari trying to catch up to Catastrophic. He got a 1.8-second gap. Right now, difference 2 tenths, less than a tenth, and they're going side by side and into turn 1. And the 2 Alfa Romeos battle it out, but difference comes out ahead of Lorenzo Scarfo at the moment. We have the 2 Alfa Romeos battling for 2nd place at the moment, pending on penalties. And as you can see there, Lorenzo Scarfo did break a little bit earlier than difference per my graphic screen at the moment. So Lorenzo Scarfo might have given him a little bit more of a gap. Hopefully that was just a slight mistake and he can come back from that. But as of right now, the person that's running away with the race is Tommy N25. If he can keep his race clean, if he can manage his car and his fuel well, then he'll more than likely finish and win this race and get that first podium finish up there on the top spot in the preseason race. No points, nothing like that, but bragging rights will be given at least. Yeah, now that things are quieting down a little bit and all the gaps are starting to form, looks like Lorenzo might have gotten some damage, or he's either lost it, overcooked his tires, but he's falling back hard. He's falling back really hard from what was almost less than a second of a gap to almost 3 seconds now. So hopefully it's nothing major. Hopefully he just has to get back in the groove. Usually most drivers will find their groove after turn 16 on that long straight going into turn 1, because you get kind of like a reset, you know, because a perfect lap isn't started halfway through the lap. You have to start that lap on key to be able to finish it on key without losing it. You lose it one time in that lap and the entire lap is going to waste. So hopefully after he rounds these turns right here and gets over to the long straight and just resets, we'll see what's going to happen next. Oh, and it looks like the Vito B2626 was able to kind of close the gap between him and Catastrophic. He has his ERS right now at 3, 2. He's putting it down now for the uphill turns 1, 2, and 3. So that way he can keep the charge, and at the same time, this is more technical. You don't need the speed in this track. And in these couple of turns right here, you need more of a technicality setup than you do a low downforce setup. Oh, and that gap is closing down. That gap is closing down. It looks like Vito's tires might be getting nicely warmed up finally. These hard tires last a good 15-20 laps if taken care of. Oh, and Vito loses it. And oh, and he's out of the race. He's out of the session. Vito loses it. Oh, I caught that on the stream. Unfortunately, he cooked his tires, and there he goes. Vito, I'm sorry for you, man. I feel your pain. I can gap from Difference at the moment. Difference also building a beautiful gap between him and Lorenzo Scarfo. For some reason, I don't know what's going on with Lorenzo Scarfo. He started off strong, but just everything that might have happened, he's lost a lot of pace. But let's see now what's going to happen between Difference and Tommy. Considering Tommy's on 10 lap old tires, while Difference is still on 5 laps. Difference's tires are going to be hitting their prime soon, and he'll be able to start chopping at that block of a gap that Tommy N25 has built. But the only way that he will be able to catch him is if Tommy N commits any slight mistake, or if his tires start falling off the cliff during the last couple of laps. We're just going to have to wait and see now. Look at that now, the gap is less than 31 seconds, about 30 and a half, and slowly deteriorating away. I wonder if Tommy's either in the pits or he made a mistake. No, he didn't. Everything, and it looks like his tires might actually be falling off. Rear tires could possibly be falling off, but when it looks like he takes that corner extremely cautiously, just to avoid him overcooking his tires and losing the rear end of that car. Now, on my screen, the graphics show yellow tires, which are the C2s, but I'm pretty sure that he has the hard tires for what my graphics are telling me up here, and that's a glitch that Codemasters hasn't fixed quite well just yet. They fixed a couple things so far. Fortunately, the new game's already going to come out. Ooh, Synchro rounds that turn extremely slow. I wonder if he has any damage at all or not. And let's watch him now to see if he's maybe overcooking his tires. He's got 14 laps on those hards. They might be going. He might need to switch to either the mediums or the softs, depending on if he can push it. I want to say maybe 2 more laps. The softs will be in their prime. There's 2 more laps. You'll have 4 laps left. And those 4 laps, you can be able to do a lot. Considering he has an 8-second gap, if he does pit again, more than likely it will be a larger gap than that. And with so little bit of time left in the race, I don't think he will be able to knock down that margin unless Catastrophic's tires start falling off beforehand. Unfortunately, the deck 91 is still AI. The deck friendly goes. And Alex Shell's finally being able to catch up to him. I wonder if he has damage. Let's see. There's no way you can't. Oh, he doesn't have any damage, but he should have caught up to him already. He's on 2 lap old soft tires, and the deck is AI driven right now. Sorry for the long pause of silence. I took a nap to see if anybody can close up again. I'm just kidding. No, guys, like I said, it's a preseason race, so this is all for fun, you know, and bragging rights of who did what to who. and etc., etc. But let's see. We have a 9-driver grid. 7 of them are still on the track. Well, 6.5 because the deck is AI, so he's still on the track. Decent amount of gap, almost average 8 seconds right now. Oh, and we have a yellow flag. Let's see what happened here. Is it synchro? Oh, it looks like Alex Judd is losing his tires again. What is going on? I wonder if he's not running traction control. If not, he might have uploaded the wrong setup. But Alex Judd has not been able to get in sync with that Red Bull. And that's not going to be good because Christian Horner is not like a driver who cannot pull out the maximum potential of his car. Ooh, difference getting massive understeer there. Let's see if he has any damage. Oh, right now the cam won't tell me, but more than likely he must have damage. Either that or he's pushed his tires a little bit too hard. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's horrible. I'm pretty sure he must be missing an end plate. And no, from here it doesn't look like he has any damage, so he might have cooked up his tires. And oh, Catastrophic gets another 3-second time penalty from multiple warnings. Now, folks, while I have some time here, I just want to let you guys know once again to follow our social media accounts. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, and of course YouTube, because if not, you would not be watching at the moment. But our Instagram account is ISRL Esports. ISRL Esports. Our Facebook page is all caps ISRL space and then capital E Sports, one word. And that's our Facebook page. I will be linking them to this video as soon as I get a chance, and I will be doing so for the rest of the videos that we do post up. Now, I do not know if I'm going to be able to consistently commentate these Tier 2 races, which I would love to, but due to scheduling conflicts, I might not be able to do them all. Man, Synchro pushing those hard tires completely to the end. So yeah, unfortunately, at the end of the day, in this track, in this race, strategy was not indeed the winner, because there were a lot of incidents where the drivers compromised the position that they were holding. And I just got asked about the strategy right now. The guys on the mediums have all stopped, except for Tommy N. He's pushing his tires. And oh wow, I did not realize that, but Tommy has not stopped. Oh, Lorenzo Scarfo loses it. Let's see what's going to happen now. Oh, and it looks like Catastrophic gets by him. Lorenzo Scarfo lost about 10 seconds there on his lap. Unfortunately, he spun. He might have cooked his tires as well. We just have to wait and see if he can come back from that. But right now, Catastrophic is in third place. Difference is second. And the winner of the race so far is going to be Tommy N25. Now, once again, if Tommy N25 does not stop, he will be disqualified from the session and Difference will be the winner. So as of right now, it's all down to whether Tommy N will stop or not. But if he wants to stop and maintain the lead of this race, he's going to have to stop within the next lap, or he's going to lose the lead of this race, because a pit stop's going to charge you about 20 seconds. and difference has broken down a 30+ second gap to about 23 seconds left with 2 laps left as he rounds turn 16 to start the penultimate lap of this race. Yeah, he's on 1 stop. Sorry, guys. My graphic for some reason was not showing me that. But he has had 1 stop only. Everybody else has had 2 stops. 9 out of the 10 of the drivers, or should I say 6 out of the 7 of the drivers, 2 stops might have been damaged. I can't be too certain, but I'm almost certain that almost everybody has had damage at one point in the race, and they've had to repair that damage, and that's for the 2nd stop. But Tommy N25 is pushing these tires to the maximum extent. So more than likely, he's not going to be stopping. Hey, is it okay? Baby, I gotta finish this. They're on the last lap now. They're on the last lap, babe. Like, please, I gotta finish this. No. And it looks like Lorenzo Scarfo might have stopped and he might have given up his position. Alex Jug coming all the way from the back of the grid back to 5th place at the moment on the final lap of this race. Here we have Tommy N rounding the final couple of corners as he rounds about turn 16 to take the top spot on the podium of ISRL's first official race preseason of the 2020 season. Difference is going to be coming back around as heat laps the Deck 91's AI driver. Catastrophic, as of right now, is in 3rd place. Synchro, 4th place. Alex Judge in 5th place. Lorenzo Scarfo 6th, and the Deck goes 7th place, and everybody rounds through, comes around the finish line, and looks like Catastrophic and Synchro still have 1 lap left due to the fact that the leader passed the finish line on his last lap after both of them were already on the other side of the finish line. So we'll see now as they're getting down to the last couple of handful of turns in the last lap. Alright, and here we have Catastrophic passes the finish line and he finishes the race, and Synchro is the only one left as he comes around the last couple of corners. Looks like he might have some, yes, he does have some damage indeed, and that's the reason why he's rather slowed down through these turns, because these turns require downforce, and unfortunately he's missing a large piece of that downforce. So here he comes around the last corner, turn 16 of the Spanish Grand Prix here in Catalunya, Barcelona. Gracias, and thank you everyone for tuning in, and thank you for the comments, guys. I hope you appreciated my commentary. Congratulations to Tommy N25 for winning bragging rights to the preseason race here in Spain for ISRL. Now, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to subscribe, like the video, share it, tell your friends, and tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as Tier 1 goes at it, and let me tell you, I'm driving in there. Those guys are fast. You don't want to miss the battles that are going to happen there.